Hi there, it's Saturday morning, and that means Meals with Melissa. So, this is something that I've instituted just because, when I was first really trying to change my lifestyle, change my health, trying to find healthy options that were quick and easy was kind of a tough deal. Trying to figure out, okay, I gotta be quick in the morning, maybe for breakfast, or hey, I need a quick snack. And so having a few options around the house or things that are easy to put together when you need something that's healthy, I'm just trying to give you some ideas here. So now we're gonna talk about protein smoothies today. And while I'm not a huge fan of using like protein shakes or any sort of shakes as a regular staple in your diet, just meaning like, shake diets. I'm not a fan. Of course, I'm not a fan of any sort of diet, but shake diets, the problem with shake diets, although they're super simple and super easy, you're missing out on a lot of nutrition, a lot of nutrients that you could be getting through real healthy whole foods. So this is a great idea because not only can it be super quick in the morning, you can take it with you. It gives you a little bit more in the way of nutrition, a little bit more of the way of healthy options, whole foods, because it's super simple and you're throwing it all together, and then of course you can take it off with you as you go. So we're gonna talk a little bit about protein smoothies. Now, one of the things that I was looking at as I was this is something that I would put together. I know there are a lot of options. One of the things that I find is when you find ideas and recipes and things, especially on like Pinterest, or even when people say, hey, here's a healthy recipe. The problem is, plug that into MyFitnessPal. It's not always your best option. I find that a lot of the ideas are really high in sugar. Now, if the sugar's coming from natural things like fruits and a little bit of honey, it's not too bad, but it starts to add up. And especially if you have a predisposition for diabetes or that your blood sugar tends to be slightly unstable, you might not necessarily want to add a lot of higher sugar options. So here's what I would do to put together. This is so easy, you guys. It's just ridiculous. Now I have myself, as I throw things, I have a great Ninja. I also have one that's a little bit bigger than this, but for the most part, my family just throws things together, uses this Ninja, and it just makes it like a milkshake, even though, to be honest, I don't even utilize milk. So I'm gonna put this together really quick. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, several cubes of ice. I'm gonna add a little bit of water. Now, you could add something like unsweetened almond milk to make it a little creamier. Watch if you're doing things like regular milk, or I'm not a fan of soy milk either, just because soy can actually mess with your hormones a little bit. And really be careful with some of those other options that do contain a lot of sugar. Just because it sounds healthy doesn't necessarily make it healthy, so keep that in mind. And I know a lot of people are popping up this morning, and I've got the camera far enough away I can't really read what's going on. So if I don't respond to you, I totally apologize at the moment. But, so I'm gonna add a little bit of water here. Unfortunately, it's in my fridge. I'm just spoiled. Okay. Now, one of the things that I actually really like to do, because I'm actually making more of a fruity option this morning, there's lots of options. You could add some peanut butter. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Other options that tend to be a little bit healthier. I'm actually gonna add a scoop of powdered greens, okay? Now, there's lots of choices out there. I either get mine from locally here or from Amazon. So I'm gonna add powdered greens. Now, you could actually add fresh greens as well. You could add some kale, you could add some spinach. And of course, for me, the goal is to kind of cover that taste, that flavor of the greens with other options. So fruit would do that. So I'm going to actually I'm gonna do my powders first. I'm actually gonna add a scoop of vanilla protein. I love this stuff. It's actually super clean and really easy. It tastes good and it mixes well. So I'm gonna add vanilla. However, if you are a huge chocolate fan, you could add some chocolate protein without adding all of the sugars that would come. You could add some cocoa powder as well. Just make sure that you're plugging this into MyFitnessPal and make sure that it fits your macros, depending on how you choose to combine the ingredients. So I'm just gonna stick a scoop of vanilla protein. Okay. And for me, I really like berries. Berries are really high in fiber. They tend to be, the fiber actually slows down the absorption rate of the sugars in it. So for me, the higher the fiber, the better. Okay, I'm gonna do half a scoop or half a cup of blueberries. I like them frozen. Of course, notice like I said, I'm kind of making myself a little milkshake here. So I'm gonna do a scoop of berries. Now you could do, these are from Costco. You could also do a scoop. They have mixed berries, and of course during the summer or the times that they're available and fresh, you know, during certain seasons, you could add fresh strawberries, fresh bananas. It just makes it taste really, really good. Now, some of the recipes that I found, you know, because I always research, some of the recipes that I found, unfortunately, combine a little too much in the way of sugars. So, you know, if you're adding, you know, some berries or maybe some bananas, and then you're adding honey, and then you're adding chocolate, you know, at some point that becomes a whole lot of sugar. And if you've listened to anything I've done before, you know that sugar spikes your insulin and can actually cause excess storage. So, you know, balance that. That's my goal, is to create as little amount of sugar, at least added sugar. Like I said, I would rather get my sugars from fresh ingredients, fresh fruits, because of course they're combined with minerals. They're very nutrient dense, so the downside of the sugar actually is outweighed by all the nutrients that I'm getting from it. So I'm actually gonna put this together. Again, see how simple that was? Honestly, I'm talking, so I know it takes a little bit longer. Okay, I like to kind of shake it up just a little bit to kind of combine the ingredients. And it's gonna be a pretty purple when I'm done. All right, look at that. Like seriously, you could put this together in less than a minute, right? So I'm gonna grab a glass. Kind of surprised there actually is one. In my chaotic household, sometimes we don't have clean dishes when I need them. But my kids do a great job keeping up, so. All right, look at that. I just made myself an absolutely gorgeous looking purple, because I'm using blueberries, protein smoothie. So the if you have it just like this, it's actually a little thick, which is not a bad thing. If you did it just like I did today, your macros approximately would be, because of course I know that you don't have the exact ingredients that I have on hand, you're going to get approximately 27 grams of protein, which is awesome, because let me just tell you, most of my clients when I first start working with them are not getting enough protein, okay? And of course, you know, it's super, super simple. You could do this for breakfast, you could do this for a snack, you could put it in a shaker bottle, take it with you, you know, blender bottle, shake it up when you're done, or at work and you need something really quick. This also has about 16 grams of carbs, 2 grams of fat, so it's very low fat, although fats are not a bad thing. So if you do add some almond butter or some peanut butter, you're gonna get a little more fats in there. But if it fits your macros, then that's fantastic. Now, of course, again, my idea of it fits your macros is as clean and as healthy as you can possibly make it, not the, oh hey, it's a Pop-Tart, it fits my macros. So keep that in mind. There is some sugar in this, but again, it comes from natural sugar. There's approximately 10 grams of sugar in this. So I am getting a little bit there, but I know that of course I'm gonna work it off, and it's again coming from natural sources. So other things that you could actually add to a protein smoothie to make it a little healthier, like I said, you can use different flavors of the protein. Watch your proteins. Some of them actually have quite a bit of sugar. And pay attention to the ingredient list as well, because that's where you're gonna find all of the little hidden sugars and things like that. You could add other fruits, especially like I said, when they're in season. Flaxseed, which is super healthy option. Of course, pay attention. Again, now we're adding fats back. Again, fat's not a bad option. Fats help you, all your processes in your body help you absorb nutrients, so not a bad deal. You could add some fresh greens, we talked about that. Cinnamon, how about even things, instead of adding like milk, you could add something like a little bit of sugar-free vanilla pudding to it. That, you know, not a horrible option for that either. And if you are gonna use some sort of milk, like almond milk, or I know there's lots of options there, make sure that it's unsweetened. You don't want to add those added sugars for that. So hopefully that gives you a great idea. Like I said, go online, you can look at Pinterest, you can just Google protein smoothies. Just make sure that before you make your smoothie, put those ingredients in MyFitnessPal to make sure that it does work for you, that it does fit your macros, and that you're not overdoing it in the sugar category. So hopefully that helps you guys. Have an incredible Saturday. Thank you for all of you popping up this morning. If you guys have ideas, questions, need some other ideas, like maybe some dinner ideas or what to make if you're having guests over, please ask. I get my best ideas from you guys. Have a great Saturday and a wonderful weekend.